Hey everybody, Tim back here again, of course, and today we're doing part 2 of Sugar by Maroon 5. So you may remember the tutorial I posted about a week ago, at least from when I posted this video, and you're probably looking for part 2. So here it is, and let's just get started, not waste any time, and get to it. Alright, so here we are, we're on page 3 now. We did pages 1 and 2 before. If you remember that you can get this from musicnotes.com or musicnotes.net. A very good version of this, but you will have to pay for it if you don't, or you can't, you don't want to, or you can't. You can follow along with the video, and that will be just fine. So let's just get started. So here at the top of page 3, we have a chord. Well, actually, what you're going to do, is we're going to be reading basically this line up top here. So we have D all the way at the top, and then you have D at the bottom with your left hand. So D, your left hand is 2 below middle C, and the D with your right hand is 2 above middle C. So 2 below and 2 above, and that's where you're going to start your hand position for this one. So anyway, you have those. And now this is the part where it comes in, where it's I'm right here. So you play those Ds, and then you come in, and on I'm, the lyric I'm, you're going to hit the D an octave below that D you just hit. And that's where it comes in, I'm. And then on right, it's that D you just played, right. And then here is that B there. When you hit this B with your right hand for measure 2, you're going to switch to G with your left hand. You're going to play those at the same time. Alright, yeah, so from the beginning of that measure again, and then you have I'm right here. When you hit here, you'll hit that G, and then the next one, careful that on cuz, it's not F, it's F sharp because of the key signature, because I need, and when you hit need, you're going to switch to B with your left hand, so it goes cuz I need, and then when you hit need, you hit that B down there. That B is 3 below middle C, 1, 2, 3, down here. Whoops, there you go. Now in this part is pretty complicated, so we're gonna just hit that B with our left hand and leave it there while we play this. Little love, a little sympathy. Now I'll show you how to play that part. It's going to be little is E, F sharp, and then you're gonna jump up to hit this F up here, love. So just try that a few times. Little love, and then little is E, E, D. So now so far we have little love, a little, and then sympathy is the notes D, E, and D. So this whole part goes little love, a little sympathy. And so you want the notes E, F sharp, F. So you're jumping up an octave there almost, and then you have E, E, D, D, E, D. And that brings us to the next line, of course. So here we have D and D again, just like we did before. So this part's going to be very similar. After you hit that, you're going to come in with the lyrics, yeah, you show me good lovin'. Now, the notes for that, for yeah is A, and on you, you're going to hit B. And then show is actually not going to be F sharp this time. It's going to be just regular F. So you have A, B, F, and then E, E, D, E. Now we're talking about the second measure in that line right here. So, so far we have, yeah, you show me good loving. And then make is going to be that F natural again. Make it all right is going to be F, E on it, all is E again, and then right is D, and then at the very end of that line you have F natural again. Now, when you play this, so let's go over the line again, and let's talk about the left hand a little bit. You're going to hit D's here, remember? So now when you say, yeah, you show, is when you hit that note show, that F there, as soon as you play that F, you're going to hit G, like right, not as soon as you play it, but like right after, you're going to hit G at the bottom. So it's going to go, Yeah, you show G, and then you play the rest of the right hands. Be good, lovin'. It's gonna take a little bit of getting used to since they don't hit at the same time. Let's try that a few times. G. Again. And then when you hit make, you're going to hit, after, this is the same kind of thing again, when you hit the F natural make, right after that you're going to hit B with your right hand. So it goes, and then you have it all right, and then F again, which we talked about already. So that's where you change the left hand notes for that line. Alright, the next to last line here on this page, so in the left hand you're going to hit E, that's 2 below, 2 below middle C, down here, so practice hitting that. And then we have, we actually have this note in the beginning of that line that looks like it's going to be F sharp, but it's really F natural, and I'll show you why. It's actually tied over from the line before. So you're going to hit that F natural up there, and you're going to hit this, you're going to hit the F natural first because that appears on the line above, and then you're going to hit E with your left hand. And then now you're going to hit a little. A little is going to be the notes E, E, D, and then sweetness is going to be D, E. So a little sweetness in, and then in is going to be that F natural again. So once again, you're going to hit E, a little sweetness in, and now you're going to switch to D with your left hand. Right after you hit the D, you're actually not hitting them at the same time again. You hit that D, 2 below middle C, by the way. Yeah. And then you're going to come in my life, right after that. And then this is the part where it goes, you're sugar. And by the way, that's going to be the notes D, D, B. You're going to be playing those a lot in this song. And then you have yes, please is actually going to be D, B. So you got your sugar. By the way, when you hit R and sugar, your sugar. And then on this note here, you're going to hit G with your left hand. And then yes, and then on please, you're going to switch to B, your left hand. And now you have 2 F sharps, won't you? And then come is that F natural up there. So to go over this line again, from the very beginning of this line right here, it's going to hit E with your left hand, and then you have a little sweetness in, and then switch to D, left hand, my life, and then you have your sugar. When you hit B on R for sugar, you're going to hit G with your left hand, and then when you say yes, please, you're going to hit B with your left hand. Now you may notice that I'm not talking about all the notes that are written in the piano part. I want to make this as simple as I can. So I'm trying to not, for people who do not know how to read sheet music, I want to make this pretty simple so they can still understand the lesson. But if you certainly want to go through and play the rest of these notes, learn these on your own, you can go do that. But let's move on to the lesson. So the next line, that last line there, you've got E with your left hand. And by the way, you're still holding this F sharp before. At least I think it's an F sharp, or is it F natural? You always want to look at the line before. Okay, so it's F natural up here. And then you're going to hit E with your left hand, and then put it, and then down is there on B. The notes for that, by the way. And then the part where it says and put it is going to be the notes E, E, D, and then you have down on with D and E, and then me again. So you got E at the bottom, and then you have E, E, D, D, E, D, for and put it down on me. Then you want to kind of move your right hand back towards the middle of the piano. First A above middle C, and this is the part where it says you're going to hit G with your left hand first. Sorry about that. And then you're going to say, I want that red velvet. And that's going to be the beginning of the very next page. So let us get that in view. Alright, so here we're on page 4 already. This page is a bit easier, only because your hand isn't going to be moving up and down the piano so much. It's going to be right around that middle area. Although I do see in the second line it does jump up there again, but not quite as high. But anyways, you're going to hit, this time in the beginning of this measure, you're going to hit B. And if you really want to, you can hit B and F sharp if you want to give it a little more sound. You hit that first, and then right after that you have I want that sugar sweet. That's all going to be with the A. I want that sugar sweet. And then you change to E and G. If you want to just play that E, that's fine. With your left hand, then you're going to say, don't let nobody touch it. So that's all going to be with the A. Don't let nobody touch it. And then you have D and F sharp there, which you're going to hit at the same time is you're going to keep repeating these A's for unless that somebody's me. So you're going to go, unless that somebody's me. So that's going to be the line there. So the whole line is, wait, sorry. I want that sugar sweet. Don't let nobody touch it. Unless that somebody's me. So you want to make sure that for the beginning of the second measure in that line, you're just hitting E and G by itself. But on that last measure, which kind of got me, is that you're going to play this D and F sharp at the same time you hit the A. So just careful that you're not hitting them at the same time except for that last measure. So let's go on to the next line where you're going to hit G and D. You're going to make it a little more complicated with the left hand. It's still two notes that you hold the whole time. So you hit G and D down here. By the way, it's two G's below middle C. That's what we're talking about. Then you have this A up here, two A's above middle C. You got, I got to be a man. Now you got to be careful that it's going to be A, and then F sharp, F sharp. Careful not to hit F. We got F sharp because technically, I didn't talk about this a whole lot, but we're in the key of D, so all F's and all C's will be sharp, unless it tells you otherwise. I got to be a man. Now you change to the next measure, B and F sharp, kind of like we did before in the top line. There ain't no other way. So A, F sharp, F sharp. So it's the same notes as before, and then you move down for this measure, E and B, right after you play that, 'cause girl, you're hotter than, so the notes here are A for 'cause, girl, your is going to be two A's above there, hot is also that A, so 'cause girl, you're hot, and then ter is going to be on F sharp. That's such a weird thing to say, ter, on F sharp, and then is going to be F sharps as well. So girl, 'cause girl, you're hot. Sorry, 'cause girl, you're hotter than So that's what it's going to be. You're going to hit the E and B first, 'cause girl, you're hotter than. And then you go on to the next line, where you have D and A with your left hand. And now for Southern, you're going to hit those two. You're going to hit two E's actually. It's two E's above middle C. You're going to hit those two quick because they're 16th notes. Southern California day. Anyways, the notes here, you're going to hit those two there. And then Southern is two E's. California is going to be D. Day. So day is actually two notes. It's going to be D and E. And then you have the notes. Well, actually, let's just go over that measure again. So you hit D and A with your left hand down here. And then you hit, for Southern, it's all going to be E. So Southern California. And then on ya, in California, you're going to switch to D. Day. And then you switch to G, it looks like. Yeah, that's right. So you hit G with your left hand. And then this is where you're going to hit I don't, with two B's. I don't. And then one, which is going to be D, B. Play no games. It's going to be D, B, E. So you got I don't wanna play no games. Of course, you're going to hit the B first, or the G first, sorry. That's it. So that's going to be that line. And then once you get to the last line, you are going to hit, down at the bottom, you're going to hit B. Now you're going to, with A, two A's above middle C, you're going to hit A, B for I don't. And then you have got to, which is going to be D, B. And then you have B, afraid is going to be D, B, E. Then for the next measure, you're going to switch to E. And then for don't give me is going to be A, B, D. Don't give me. And then you have all that. And then shy shit. I think that was the first time I ever cursed in one of my lessons. But that's what the lyrics are. So anyway, you hit E at the bottom. Don't give me all that shy shit. And then by the way, shit is on A. And then D, you're going to hit with your right hand, obviously, for no. Now, where does that go from there? Well, we'll find out next time, because today we were just doing 2 pages. So remember, bringing it back to me. Remember that we're doing this in pieces, meaning we're just, well, obviously you know what that means. But anyways, we're doing 2 pages at a time, 6 pages long, I think. I need to double check on that. I want to make sure it's not too long, or else I'll have to condense some of these. But anyways, I think it's 6 pages long, so there's at least one more tutorial video coming. Look forward to it. Should be out sometime next week. I try my best to get these out on time, but I'm very busy. But anyway, if you want to learn about piano and you want to learn more, check out my YouTube channel, Lessons on the Web. And then after you take all those lessons and you still want to learn more, head over to my website, www.lessonsontheweb.com, where you can learn tons about playing the piano for real. Like, you can learn how to learn almost any song. You can learn how to read music. And, if you have an old keyboard laying around and you haven't been using it, it might be for you. But go ahead and check it out. Submit me any questions, tim@lessonsontheweb.com. I'd be more than happy to help you out. So thanks as always for listening, and I'll see you for the next lesson. Thank you.